Good morning, we are back. It's a Europa League match day and that makes it my favourite day of the week. I'm Jack Collins and on this week's show, I'm joined by my friend, Granada fan and fellow lover of this competition, Mr. Sam Tighe. Sam, how you doing?
I'm good, mate, and I'd ask you how you are, but I can already tell. You are pumped!
Yeah, I'm buzzing. You can get involved using the hashtag UEL breakfast, so grab yourself a tea or a coffee, whichever you prefer. This is the UEFA Europa League breakfast show brought to you by Kia. And Sam, let's get into it. How good has this year's competition been so far?
Oh, sensational as always. The Europa League, guaranteed goals, guaranteed entertainment, and the special blend it brings of top-level football combined with that mysterious element. You always learn about a new player, perhaps an unfamiliar manager, a team you've never heard of, a stadium you've never seen. It has that element of discovery to it while combining the top-level football that we obviously want to watch.
Talking of mysteries, why are you a Granada fan?
Well, I basically went on holiday to Spain, took a bus into the mountains on a bit of a whim, and apparently Granada really took to me, or I took to them. I don't know which way around it was, but I watched one game, vital game in the domestic league. They had to win it against Levante. They won 5-1, pretty much stayed in La Liga as a result of that. I guess the ambience took me, the atmosphere took me, the people took me in. It's got such a wonderful, relaxed nature and vibe to it. I couldn't help but take a piece away from me.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be hearing a little bit more about Sam's beloved Granada a little bit later on in the show. But first, let's take a look at these round of 16 ties. Sam, the two that jump out on a knife edge are Milan, Manchester United, and also Slavia Prague versus Rangers. And, you know, very, very finely balanced. Yeah,
Milan, what a performance at Old Trafford. The amount of energy that they managed to get through and just the pressure they managed to put Manchester United under in that first half. 2 goals disallowed. Finally, Manchester United score. Incredible goal from Amad Diallo. Milan get the goal they deserve right at the end. They now have that away goal finally poised. And the same can be said about Slavia against Rangers, who just kind of traded half an hour each of complete dominance and control over the game. I can't call that one either.
Yeah, I mean, a game less on a knife edge, shall we say, is Roma 3, Shakhtar Donetsk 0. And Paulo Fonseca going back to his old team where he won 7 trophies in 3 years in the Ukraine. And, you know, it feels like he got his revenge mission here.
Yeah, he's knocked out Braga in the round before, a club he used to manage. Now he's well on the way to knocking out Shakhtar this round, a club he used to manage. He's on his own personal revenge mission or something. I can't really explain it, but Roma, what a performance. Yeah. And what a team as well. They play some wonderful football. They've got the difference makers up top. Incredible side.
Yeah, interestingly, Fonseca never took Shakhtar past the round of 16 himself.
Did he not?
Now he looks like he's going to knock them out of this one. So, look, we talked to 2019 winner of this competition, Pedro, about the impact that Paulo Fonseca has had since Pedro arrived in Rome.
He tenido también la suerte de coincidir con grandes entrenadores a lo largo de mi carrera y eso ha hecho pues que también mejore mucho, sobre todo, como te digo, a nivel táctico. Cuando recuperamos el balón intentando llegar rápido a la portería es una idea que a mí personalmente en fútbol me gusta mucho, él la tiene y en ese sentido pues es muy fácil para mí trabajar con él.
Let's go from the favourites then to the underdogs. And Olympiacos 3-1 down to Arsenal. This weekend, they made 7 changes, which they can afford to do because they're 14 points clear domestically. But it does show their intent for this competition.
I mean, look, to be in that position is quite the luxury, but obviously they're going to go for this competition full throttle. They have a bit of a mountain to climb, but I think they have a chance. They beat Arsenal last year. They scored against them in the first leg. Hell, last year they beat them in extra time. If this has to go the distance, which at this stage on the aggregate score, it could well do so, they've already proved they've got the stones to carry it out.
Yeah, I mean, slightly different. Dynamo Kiev, who are 2-0 down to Villarreal. They don't have the same luxury. They only made 1 change for a 2-0 win against Zorya Luhansk this weekend. And they're in a really tight title battle with Shakhtar Donetsk, where there's only 4 points in it.
Well, they've just got to hit both competitions full throttle. They don't have that luxury to rotate. This is a tougher task. It really is. I mean, 2-0 down, can see the two away goals as well to Villarreal. And they're up against Unai Emery, the Europa League master. This one does look like a struggle.
Yeah. I mean, someone else who's struggling are Young Boys, because the performance of the week was Ajax, who won 3-0 in the first leg, and it was a real masterclass from the Ajax boys. They're 21 unbeaten now in all competitions, and, you know, 3-0, an absolute masterclass.
Yeah, I was tempted to feel a little bit sorry for Young Boys to an extent because Ajax were just on it. They found their groove and they were just firing. Oh, the way that they managed to create these patterns of play and fire shots on goal, it took them an hour to get the breakthrough and I have no idea how. They were just going at them the entire time. By the end of the game, it's 3-0. It does look a little bit out of reach, that one, but look, shower the praise on Ajax because they have found their groove and they are an incredible side when they get going.
Obviously, Ajax, former winners of this trophy. How far do you think they can go?
I think they're up there. They've got a chance, haven't they? They play some of the best football. They've got some of their best players. When they find their groove, they're very, very difficult to stop. I'd say they're a contender, wouldn't you?
Yeah, well, 21 unbeaten speaks for itself, right? People find it very hard to beat this Ajax team, and they definitely have the pedigree.
Yeah, Dusan Tadic looking good. David Neres back, Anthony back in form. Like, the goals are in full supply.
And of course, Brian Brobby.
Of course, Brian Brobby. I mean, look, there's a number of young talents here. Brian Brobby on his way to Leipzig at the end of the season. They've got Ryan Gravenberch as well. I mean, Ajax, an absolute factory for young stars.
Sam, Slavia couldn't believe how close they came to beating Rangers, and Alan McGregor's fingertip save denied them. He was unbelievable.
Yeah, that save was truly remarkable. The ball was behind him and he manages to stretch his arm out and stop it on the line. The best bit for me was the post-match interview where he was very reserved and calm about what he'd just done. All in a day's work for a goalkeeper. No, it was an incredible save, but the man was so calm. It's like he'd made a run-of-the-mill catch from across. It was remarkable.
Yeah, and Kamal Roux said it was maybe the best save he'd ever seen. But from a 39-year-old goalkeeper to the other end of the scale, 19-year-old Brian Brobby, and Ajax couldn't resist doing a little throwback for their goal scorer this week.
Yeah, that's kind of cute, wasn't it? I mean, celebrating the goal, which was calmness personified, but this little bit, I mean, look, Brian Brobby's been at Ajax since he was like 4 years old. He's leaving quite early. He's off to RB Leipzig at the end of the season. I mean, he hasn't got long to make his mark on this team and maybe leave with a trophy. I mean, this is his chance.
19 years old. The kid is a teenage sensation, Sam. What were you doing at 19 years old?
Not scoring goals in the Europa League is how I'll put it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's best you don't answer that one. 5 words from Spurs. They said, you love to see it. And with this competition, it feels like a real opportunity for them, especially the fact that domestically things aren't quite going to plan.
Look, there is huge pressure at Tottenham to win a trophy of any description. This is a massive opportunity, and Tottenham are one of the favourites for this competition. They have the weapons, they have Harry Kane, Gareth Bale is back in form. You don't want to come up against this team. Yeah,
well, Harry Kane, player of the round in their last match week, and Jose Mourinho has won this competition before. The pedigree, 100% there.
Yeah, you also don't want to come up against Jose Mourinho in knockout football, whoever you are. Just don't do it. Avoid it if you can.
Last week, we asked you to send in your versions of the Europa League theme tune. Check out this effort from Callum Gordon. That is world class. Now, if you reckon you've got the chops to get involved with this, make sure you send in your entries using the hashtag UEL Breakfast. What I love about the Europa League, it gives teams the opportunity to come from nowhere and thrust themselves into the limelight. This season, no team has done that more than Granada.
Creo que ni el más optimista de todos los granadinistas podía imaginarse esto. De segunda división a disputar la Europa League en tan solo 2 años. No seremos el equipo más rico, pero somos ambiciosos. Estamos orgullosos de representar nuestro escudo en esta competición. Nos ha costado muchísimo trabajo, muchísimo esfuerzo. Con la fase de grupos superada, con sólidos resultados, demostramos que podemos seguir disfrutando de esta competición. Nuestra meta es seguir disfrutando, ganando partidos y llegar lo más lejos posible. Todo nuestro éxito lo hemos conseguido paso a paso. Hemos hecho historia sorprendiendo a Europa, demostrando que no hay nada escrito.
This is the Andalusians' first ever season in European competition, but you'd never be able to tell that, Sam, with the way they performed. What makes this story so special?
Yeah, it's an incredible story. I mean, I guess you go back 18 months and they're in the second division in Spain, in the Segunda. They've been relegated, they've been stuck down there for a couple of years. They've changed ownerships, they don't own any of their players, they have to scrape and claw their way back. They end up picking up a ton of local players to restore the connection between the team and the fans. The culture is very clear. You get loads of players from Andalusian backgrounds trying to fire this Andalusian club back up into the league. The manager, is a magician. Diego Martinez, he is incredible, and they all fight for him. He commands soldiers. It's incredible to watch. So for Granada to rise so far in 18 months and get to this stage of the European competition is frankly unbelievable.
Yeah, it's been an incredible run. Obviously, they beat PSV in Eindhoven. They knocked out Napoli in the last round. But I think what speaks there is, talking to local pride. And this competition, famously, Sevilla have won it so many times. They kind of fly the flag for Andalusia. But this year, it's not them. It's Granada flying the Andalusian flag.
It is, yeah. There's a lot of local pride in Granada, Andalusian pride as well. And it's a funny culture shift. For me as an Englishman, I'm not used to it because they are proud of their team, win, lose or draw, as long as they fight for the badge. That's all they have to do. They have to put the grit and the determination and the effort in, and they will be proud of their team. And trust me, there is a lot of pride floating around Granada right now because to open the group stage and beat PSV Eindhoven away, absolutely incredible. To overcome Napoli over 2 legs is the stuff that dreams are made of. Who honestly saw that coming when the draw was made in December? Not me. Not me.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
Sam, Granada are in such a good position here. 2-0 up after the first leg. How confident are you that they can get the job done?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm a football fan, so you always fear the worst, right? But 2-0 is a commanding position. And Granada, with the spirit funneling through them, they'll fight to the end. It's such a good first leg league. I can't see them slipping, but Mulder played some good stuff in the first leg. You have to respect that. Split Granada open, good balls into the box. For 60 minutes there, mate, I was a little bit concerned until the red card came in that second goal. That's where I calmed down. So, look, I've been nervous the entire way through this competition. That is not going to change. But I expect Granada to see this through.
Molde clearly have work to do then, but for the Norwegians, reaching this stage of the competition is a remarkable achievement.
Måten vi framstår på, måten vi kjemper på som lag, det gjorde at det ble 2 fantastiske opplevelser, og jeg synes det fortjent at vi går videre. Nei, det klart jeg fornøyd med mine egne prestasjoner. Laget jobber fantastisk for hverandre, og så gjør det at vi der fremme kan skinne litt, og selvfølgelig en god følelse for meg å få 3 skåringer på de 2 kampene.
Så dette for oss en optimal prestasjon som sett over 2 kamper. Å gå videre fra den kampen der, det tror jeg den jeg skal ikke si det det, men det en av de aller største prestasjonene vi har gjort i vår historie.
Sam, can Molde turn this one around?
Well, as a Granada fan, I certainly hope not. But look, you have to respect the fact that they've scored goals in previous rounds. You have to understand that Granada's record away from home this season hasn't been great. So it's a struggle for Molde because Granada are in such a good position, but you're not ruling that out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Molde and Granada are the 2 lowest ranked sides left in this competition, 98th and 78th, respectively. And yet one of them is going to be in the quarterfinals. And that is the beauty of the Europa League. That's what this is all about.
It is. That's the magic of it. I mean, both these 2 teams are making history, and one of these teams is going to continue to do so.
Top 5 time, and this week, inspired by Granada's remarkable run to the round of 16, Sam, we're talking about the greatest underdog performances that competition has ever seen. At number 5, Victoria Plzeň against Napoli in the round of 32, 12-13. They won 5-0 on aggregate, and this was a Napoli side that had Goran Pandev, it had Edinson Cavani, Marek Hamzic, and a young Lorenzo Insigne.
Yeah, incredible. 5-0. You can't say that was lucky. All right, in at number 4, Athletic Club against Manchester United, 2011-12. Marcelo Bielsa's superchargers just running about the pitch at Old Trafford, playing Manchester United off the park. And when that happened, under Sir Alex Ferguson's reign, it really took you aback.
Yeah, I remember Ander Herrera was unbelievable in that game, and United obviously liked him so much that they went and bought him after that. In at 3, Ghent versus Tottenham, round 32 from 16-17. They won 1-0 at home and then 2-2 at the Lane. They scored late, but also Harry Kane scored an own goal. And this was a Spurs side that had a lot of the current crop involved in it. And, to go away and get that result and hold them off, it just gives you that thought, doesn't it? Could Dinamo Zagreb do the same this year?
Yeah, Hugo Lloris, Toby Alderweireld, staying up late at night, cold sweats, waking up. The memory of this, I'm sure, has scarred them forever. I guess you never know. What have we been saying this entire time? You can't rule anything out in this competition. All right, and number 2, Dnipro reaching the final in 2014-15. Second in their group, and I've written down the names because of the people they beat. Olympiacos, Ajax, Club Brugge on the way to the final. Eventually they lost to Sevilla. We've covered how good Sevilla are in this competition. But what an achievement this was.
Yeah, it's kind of mad because Dnipro no longer exist in that form. They folded. But even in their new incarnation, they'll be able to look back at that run with such pride.
Absolutely.
And talking about looking at runs with pride, at number 1, I've gone for Fulham against Juventus, 5-4 on aggregate, round of 16 in 9-10, the first iteration of the UEFA Europa League in its current form. Lost 3-1 away, Dixon who scored an unbelievably lucky deflected goal for Fulham. And then in the second minute at Craven Cottage, David Trezeguet scored and kind of broke the hearts of all of us who were there that day, and I was there that day, lucky enough to witness one of the most magisterial Fulham performances of all time. Roy Hodgson's Fulham and Zoltan Gira absolutely tore Juventus to shreds. Bobby Zamora bullied the Juventus back line, and then Clint Dempsey dropped that chip on this, and the Hammersmith end rose as one. What a run that was for Fulham to get to the final, but this performance in particular, majestic. It was genuinely the most incredible moment, and the only moment, in fact, that I've ever found it appropriate to whack my top off and swing it around my head. So, you know, this holds a special place in my heart, and it had to top this list.
Yeah, you haven't stopped talking about it since it happened, Jack. I appreciate how good it was.
I know it's early, but we've got even more for you. Alongside our partners at Kia, we're going to be picking our favourite celebrations from across the board as the competition progresses. Here are our favourites from the round of 16 first legs. Sam, we had a couple of replies to that on Twitter. At Sergio Yakub was delighted to see Stephen El Shaarawy back scoring for Roma. So was I.
Yeah.
Absolutely delighted. First goal since returning to the club. And at AFC Alba was wondering why Mohamed El Neni wasn't in the top 4. 1, I wonder who he supports. 2, great goal. Less great celebration, you know?
What a rocket.
But we agree with the majority of the replies that this week's winner was Amad Diallo of Manchester United. His celebration was a tribute to his late friend Willy Tarbi Bracciano. He became the club's 4th youngest goal scorer in Europe with that goal. He's only behind Marcus Rashford, Mason Greenwood and club icon George Best. And he's ahead of Wayne Rooney, who also scored his first Manchester United goals in Europe. And he did all right, didn't he?
Yeah, not bad career for Rooney. If you can emulate that or go even halfway, I think he'll be on the right track.
For more celebrations and some more very special content, make sure you go and check out Kia's YouTube channel. Right, Sam, the paddles are out. It's time to put you on the spot. I'm going to need to know who you think is going to be in the final of this year's competition.
Yeah, okay, so I think the winner of Milan versus Manchester United will be one of the finalists. So I'm going to take Milan since they're in such a strong position with the away goal. And meeting them in the final, I've got a couple of ideas here. I kind of fancy Tottenham. I kind of fancy Ajax. Can I take both?
No.
Okay, I'm going to take Tottenham in the final as well. So it's Milan versus Tottenham.
Oh, the Edgar Davids derby. Or, I suppose, the Kevin Prince Boateng derby, if you want.
You couldn't find a single more recent reference.
No, I absolutely couldn't. And who do you think is going to actually take the trophy home, Sam?
I've got a feeling about AC Milan. I've genuinely got a feeling this is their year. They've got a trophy and then this is a really special crop led by Zlatan Ibrahimovic. What a close to a career that could be for him.
Yeah, and it would be nice to see this Milan side win a trophy. Well, that's pretty much all we've got time for this week. And all that's left for me to do is say thank you very much to Mr. Sam Tighe.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks to you for watching at home. Remember, you can get involved using the hashtag UEL Breakfast. Enjoy this match week. I'm off for a croissant. We'll see you next time.